Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Live Album War. Today we've got two albums from kind of the jazzier perspective of things, all right, but both definitely classics. We've got 1977's Jeff Beck with the Janhammer Group, Live, okay? And on the other end of the ring, we've got DiMeola Tour De Force-Live from 1982. Two pretty sizzling shred fest of guitar manifestations, okay? Both displaying some of the best material of that artist around that time. The Jeff Beck and Janhammer album, a little different because you got some Jeff Beck tunes on there, you got some Janhammer stuff, okay? But a nice kind of meeting of those two musical forces who, of course, worked together on the Wired album by Jeff Beck. So this one recorded in 1976 on U.S. tour that these guys did together. Some good, strong material on here. It kicks off with a kind of raging version of Freeway Jam. Okay, not quite as kind of refined as the studio version. Okay, from the Blow by Blow album, but still pretty damn cool. All right, got some rampaging Jeff Beck licks on that. Then you've got Earth, Still Our Only Home, which is a Janhammer piece. Then She's a Woman, of course, the old Beatles classic that Jeff did on the Blow by Blow album. Okay, done very well here live. Full Moon Boogie, another cool kind of older tune that Janhammer and Jerry Goodman wrote together. All right, very, very awesome on this. Then Darkness, Earth in Search of the Sun, another Janhammer piece. It's the awesome Scatterbrain, okay, Jeff Beck classic. And then Blue Wind, the beautiful Blue Wind, one of my favorite Janhammer compositions, and done very, very well on here. So who's in the band, you might ask, for this particular album? So obviously you got Jeff on guitar, okay? You've got Janhammer on Moog. I always want to say Moog synthesizer, Oberheim, and all sorts of other different electric pianos and things like that. You got Tony Smith on drums. You got Fernando Saunders on bass. Okay, guy's done a lot. And Steve Kindler on violin and synthesizers and all sorts of other things. So a really, really strong album, I think. I've always kind of dug this album. All right. Again, wish it was longer. Okay, but still really, really good. On the other end of the ring from 1982, we got DiMeola. All right, Tour De Force-Live. Pretty hot album, right? So this was that really strong touring band that he had, okay, in the early 80s. So, of course, Mr. Janhammer on board for this one as well, right? We got Victor Gozzi also on keyboards, Philip Sacey on keyboards, okay, Anthony Jackson on electric bass, Steve Gadd on drums, Mingo Lewis on percussion, okay, and Sammy Figueroa also on percussion. And this was recorded at the Tower Theater in Pennsylvania, okay, on that tour. So it kicks off, you got the Elegant Gypsy Suite. Fantastic, okay. Then Nina, okay, and you got Advantage, which is a cool little Janhammer track. Egyptian Danza, all right. Race with the Devil on Spanish Highway, probably the definitive version of that song. And then another Janhammer classic, Cruisin'. So a good mix of DiMeola originals and some Janhammer stuff, and pretty happening album, I think. I love, this kind of album, and we've talked about this often in these live album war shows, how sometimes specific live albums kind of signal the end of an era for that band or artist. No exception here, because this was kind of like, at the time anyway, Al's kind of last burst with electrified, jazz fusion. Okay, he kind of put away the Les Paul for a little while, started concentrating on more acoustic type music. Okay, a lot of the flamenco stuff and what have you. So this was, the last time for a while we heard like the rip-roaring Les Paul through a Marshall from Mr. DiMeola. But it's a stunning live album that kind of caps off that part of his career, right? So after the exit from Return to Forever and that early solo career with all those great albums, this is a really good kind of document of some of those hot tracks and some Janhammer stuff also from that time period. Pretty damn cool. So you got two guitar masters, both teaming up with a fantastic keyboard player on each, as we do in this show. Okay, we take a look at two albums and we have to pick a favorite. Okay, because we're doing a tournament. So for me, I love them both, but I've always been a bigger fan of this one here. I'm a I'm a huge fan of both guitar players, right? But man, there's something special about this album. Not that the other one isn't, but I think I've always preferred this one. Man, I remember like when I first started getting into fusion music and fusion guitar players, like in the early 80s, mid 80s, I latched onto this, something fierce, right? It's like, holy moly. I had the LP back in the day. I think I had it on cassette too, and I bought it on CD quite a long time ago and wore this out. Just some killer guitar playing on here. It's just a great band too, and some really good tunes. So if I had to choose, I'd pick DiMeola. Unanimous decision. 116, 112, 115, 114, 117, 110. All right, unanimous decision for my man Al, but you know what? Nothing to sneeze at on this one. Another great performance by Mr. Beck and Mr. Hammer and company, right? So, but two really good albums. So let us know which one you prefer. In the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a little white dot, okay, a little white circle with a letter I in the middle. Click on that. Vote for either Jeff Beck and janhammer or aldimeola janhammer, right? And let us know why you made your choice down below. Let us know what you love about these albums or what you don't, right? And also go over to our Facebook page and you can vote there as well. So we've got some, after 6 days, we're going to stop counting the votes. We're going to put them all together, and the winner will move on to round 2 of our tournament. So visit us on the web at www.catranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're on YouTube every day. We got more classic live album wars coming up, so don't miss them. Going to do a bunch of like fusion stuff this weekend. So for all of you who have been waiting for some of the jazzier stuff, this weekend is when we're doing them. So don't miss out. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.